each week we're gonna find something that testifies to him, because the whole book does, right? And all we have to do is just pay attention, look at these things, and try to figure out how it
The
plays
men
out.
said unto her, We be blameless of thine oath which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window
All
which
right.
thou didst let us down by.
All right. So he said the scarlet that you let us down by, the thread. All right. It was probably like a little, thick thread of rope. He said, you let it down by this. Go ahead and bind this in your window. That way we'll know which house not to knock everything off on. Everybody else got to go. Right. She is like, but we're gonna be blameless of this oath that we made with you. Right. This agreement that we made. We're gonna be blameless of this. As long as you keep this up, then we good. And let's see what the other stipulations were.
And thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his own head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear.
All right. So he said, as long as you keep your mouth shut, we be good. You know what I'm saying? But if you get to talking, then we'll know that it's over, right? It ain't held against us, which you made it swear. You get to snitching and talking too much, then we're gonna get you, and we ain't gonna be guilty of breaking our oath, right? Because this is the part of the agreement. So he tried to give her the terms of the covenant, right? The agreement. All right. So now, what does that remind us of? The fact that he said, anybody who's in here, you good. Anybody who steps out, your blood is on your own head.
Abiding in Christ.
Abiding in Christ, right? What else?
Passover.
Passover, that's a good one. What else? What we talk about?
Refuge.
City of Refuge, right? So Joshua is the one who gave out. We talked about the City of Refuge a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. But we talked about the City of Refuge. The City of Refuge. Well, let's just read about it real quick. Go to Joshua 20, because Joshua is the one who actually gave out the City of Refuge. Joshua chapter 20, verse 1.
Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man, from Dan even to Beersheba, with the land of Gilead unto the Lord in Mizpah. And the chief of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, pursued. I'm in Judges.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Sorry.
Gathered together as one man, huh?
My bad. I'm all the way in Judges.
All right, we'll be in Judges next week.
The Lord also spake unto Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Appoint out for you cities of refuge, wherefore I spake unto you by the hand of Moses, that the slayer that killeth any person unawares and unwittingly may flee thither.
Right? So he says that the slayer, that means a person who kills somebody, and he does it unwittingly or unawares. That means he did it on the accident. That wasn't what he was trying to do. He said now they will be able to flee to this city of refuge. And he's asking Joshua to set these places up. Go ahead.
And they shall be your refuge from the avenger of blood.
All right, so the avenger of blood would be if I kill this man, right? I'm swinging my axe and it's loose, so the top of the axe flies off, hits this man in the head, and he dies, right? But then his brother finds out that I did that. His brother like, no, you're not just about to kill my brother and get away with it. I'm like, hey, it was an accident. So now the avenger of blood would be his brother, right, or his family member that's looking like, no, we're gonna get revenge for this. All right, keep going.
And when he doth flee unto one of those cities, shall stand at the entering of the gate of the city, and shall declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city.
Right, so he goes to the city and he declares his cause, right? He'd be like, look, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? I was swinging my axe. You know what I'm saying? It's a little loose, I guess. It flew off. It hit him. I didn't do it on purpose, for real. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it on purpose. So then once he goes to, if he's at the city of refuge, this is what happened.
They shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. And if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver the slayer up into his hand, right, because he smote his neighbor unwittingly and hated him not before time.
Right? So because he did it on the accident, he did it unwittingly, then they got to give him a place to live in the city of refuge, right? And then jump over to Numbers 35. It'll explain a little more for us. Numbers chapter 35, verse 25.
And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whither he has fled, and he shall abide in it until the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil.
All right, so now you had a high priestess in this land, right? So this man, he's supposed to be delivered from the avenger of blood, taken into the city of refuge. They got to protect him and make sure he's good, make sure this avenger of blood can't get to him. And then he stays there as long as the high priest is living, right? So the high priest will be the one that's anointed with oil. All right, let's keep going.
But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whether he has fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood.
All right, so he said, now if you come up out of the city and the avenger of blood gets you while you outside of that city, then the avenger is not guilty of blood. That just happened. And let's see why.
Because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession.
All right, so who's our high priest?
Jesus.
All right, how long he gonna live?
Forever.
There we go. So that means we safe as long as we in the city. All right, and that's why he's our city of refuge, right? Let's go to John 15 real quick. John chapter 15. We're still holding Joshua chapter 2. No, never mind. You can let go of Joshua chapter 2. Let's go to John 15. Try to get us up out of here quick. I know we all tired. John 15, verse 1.
I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
All right, husbandman. Does that mean that he has a wife? No, husbandman just means that he's a vine dresser. Right? He works the garden. Is what a husbandman is. Has nothing to do with husband and wife or anything like that. So he said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman or the vine dresser.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away.
All right, so if it don't have fruit on it, what is he going to do with it?
Take it away.
Okay.
And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it.
Right, so what does that mean when they say he purges? That mean he get rid of it too?
No.
No, that means he cleans it, right? So if it does have, if it does bear fruit, he cleans it up, right? You see, you have a lot of fruit trees. You might have a fruit on there not really looking too nice, but since it's a fruit and you want it, let me go ahead and wipe the sides of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure it grows the right way. If you have a plant, if this were real, you know what I'm saying? You have these plants. Sometimes you'll clip the edges of them, make sure they grow in right? So he's saying he's gonna get rid of the bad parts. That's what he does for us when we produce fruits. That's why it's important for us to have a heart of righteousness, because what happens is when we do things, sometimes we don't think, it feels the right way and we really have the right intentions, but it's not really right. So the Most High has sent a man to come along to say, that wasn't quite the way it was supposed to go, right? Let's do it that way. And that's him pruning, that's him using each other, using ourselves to prune each other, right? That's why correction and reproof is necessary, because we're cutting away the bad part. Sure, the bulk of it is good. We just got to tighten up the edges a little bit, and that's what purges mean, or prunes. Keep going.
That it may bring forth more fruit. Now
Right.
ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Right, and that's why he said clean, because that's the same thing. Purging, clean, pruning, all those things have to do with cleaning, right? So he said, now I've done that. He said, I purged you, I cleaned you up by the word that I've spoken unto you. What happens next?
Abide in me and I in you.
Abide, what does that mean?
Remain.
All right, remain in this context. It's abide in other places that mean something different because it's translated from different words. But in this context, it means abide, remain, stay, right? Abide in me.
And I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No
Right.
more can ye, except ye abide in me.
All right, so that's basic logic, right? There's no way that this branch is going to end up having fruit if it's not connected to a vine, right? If it's not connected to a tree trunk or, to a root. Keep going.
I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned.
Right, so he said if you don't stay in me, then you're burned. All right. Same thing with the City of Refuge. You don't stay in the City of Refuge, well, your blood is on your own hands. You good. You know what I'm saying? Because you should have stayed until the high priest died. All right. And the same thing with Rahab. She said, well, now if you, I mean, they told her now if your family don't stay in here and they leave out, we quitted this oath. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing to do. Well, they safe as long as they ain't here. They good. They step outside of here, they might just get it just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So y'all better stay inside. So these concepts are prevalent in the Bible, and that's how we understand. That's why when Yahushua talks to us this way, if we know the law, if we know our scriptures, then it gives us understanding. Like, oh, okay, yeah, just like Rahab, just like Passover, just like the City of Refuge. And this is the theme, the themes that continue on in the Bible.